So in terms of the sort of marketing aspect of content there, most marketers think, okay, well, I'm going to pay for some ads across social for the sort of short-term play, and then kind of dovetail that with sort of SEO for the longer term. Why is that potentially the wrong thing to be thinking about?
So I think this creates risk on both of those vectors, right? So on the ad side, you have great risk because your marketing is tied up in pay to play, meaning it's very difficult to reduce your spend and see equal or higher growth in in those paid channels. Almost certainly what will happen is the opposite. Over time, more people will enter your space. There'll be more competition for those for those eyeballs. Your ads will tend to get more expensive over time per conversion, right? So the cost to acquire new customers is almost always going up. You can bring that down a little bit by growing your brand and by becoming kind of more of a market leader and having a higher click-through rate, engagement rate on your ads, those kinds of things. You can do things to optimize your ad budget by, reducing where your ads are seen to just those places that are most helpful. But it's a little bit of a tough road. And then on the SEO side, somewhat similar, right? Essentially, SEO is very competitive. More and more people will tend to come in. If Google ever decides to start taking, a big share of your sector for themselves, that can be really hard. Tons and tons of folks, for example, who did amazing work in the job sector, right? Targeting, keywords around, education jobs or jobs in healthcare or whatever it is. And then Google was like, hey, we should get into jobs. And now they're always at the top, right? Yeah. Or, historically at Moz, right? I did this Whiteboard Friday video series, and it used to be that we could show up right in Google's results with the video. And then you click to Moz and you get to the video on Moz's website. And then Google was like, whoa, why are we sending video traffic to anyone but YouTube? That's dumb. All video traffic goes to YouTube, right? And so now if you want to play in Google's video results, you really have to be on YouTube. And that creates frustration too. So I see these as risks to be mitigated. And I'm not saying you shouldn't invest in those channels, but I'm saying you probably want to also invest in channels that are owned and controlled by you. So that would be things like an email newsletter, obviously your website, subscription to it, notifications, right? That kind of stuff. You probably want to have social channels that you own and control as well as participate in, so that as people are kind of referring to you in the social worlds that we all use now, that they can find you there. And you probably want to be present in the other sources of influence in your space, whatever those might be, right? It could very well be the case that there are popular podcasts in your field, or popular YouTube channels, or popular conferences and events, or popular webinar series, or a popular email newsletter, or a bunch of popular websites, a bunch of influential social accounts that people follow. And you probably want to be included and promoted by those folks.